Hello guys and welcome to the channel. This is HiWill, I am Will. In today's video I will be reacting to Season 5 Episode 14 of Riverdale. So today's episode is called... Chapter 90. 90, whoa, 90 episodes. The Night Gallery. Okay. Cheryl enlists the help of Archie, Kevin, Fangs and Reggie after she learns there is palladium underneath her maple grooves. Meanwhile, Betty and Alice confront a trucker who may have been involved in Polly's disappearance. Elsewhere, Jughead and Archie each confront events from their past. So, yeah, that's the synopsis. I'm excited to see what happened to Jughead, like on this 7 years life. Same for Archie. Same thing for Betty and her mom going against the trucker that I don't think is the one that kidnapped, killed, or whatever Polly, because it's kind of too obvious, you know, and we kind of need a mystery for the season. So I don't think he is our guy. I think he's just a creep, or maybe he works for that guy, and we're gonna be having like a big a big villain. I don't know. I'm not sure. By the way, what happened to the Mothman or whatever that was? I mean, the body was taken and that was kind of it. What happened? I need answers. I don't need them. I just would like to know. Like, not that I care too much about it, but yeah. Other thing, next week is the Pussycats episode, and I'm hyped for that. I'm gonna be honest. I didn't care too much for them in the past seasons. Like on season 1 and 2 they were there, but I liked their moments, you know, and I think that's something with some of the Riverdale characters that we eventually don't miss them because part of them they didn't do much. Like I saw I think it was on last week that they posted a poster, kinda whatever, about their episode coming back, and everybody was like, where is their spin-off? That would be cool. I think if they had like a proper time, that would be cool, since Katie Keene is done. Katie Keene, whatever, I don't know. I would be here for it. This episode could be a pilot, so yeah. With that said, be sure to give it a big thumbs up if you like this reaction, comment down below what were your thoughts on this lovely episode. Subscribe for more Riverdale content between other things. And yeah guys, let's go. Without wasting any more of your time, let's go and watch Season 5, Episode 14 of Riverdale. Woo!
Min-Min!
Dramatic.
You made it.
Oh! Minerva, I asked for you on the last episode.
You said over the phone you finished a new series of paintings. That's the only reason I'm here. Let's get to it then.
Okay. I mean, I don't ship them, but I don't think they made us want to ship them, I don't know?
Been so vivid, Dr. Winters, but confusing too. I mean, everything's jumbled up.
That's your subconscious.
Okay, I know this just
trying to
started,
make
but
sense
am I the only one having flashbacks to... I don't know her name, but on season 4 there was an episode when they were all talking trouble. It was something like that. I'm not gonna search for it, but all the characters were talking about the school counselor or whatever that was, whatever she was, but this is giving me those vibes. I'm here for it. I like that episode.
Okay, no pills.
What's the problem with the pills?
There are other ways of dealing with anxiety, like EMDR.
Oh, I saw this sneak
Eye
peek.
movement desensitization.
Is it Cheryl to ask for help? Yes. Oh my god. Cheryl is not wearing red or black. I'm here for it. Because obviously she has the hair on her, the red on her hair. So the fact that she uses red a lot, has like her color, like, is a little bit too much, which is cool for Cheryl, like, okay, but it's always different, like, to catch the eye. It's like if you see Jughead using white. It's not his color. It's cool to see. Looks different, which as a time jump I was expecting for. So let's keep it.
I need a team of brawny strongmen to reopen my mines and harvest the precious metal.
Why not
before
woman?
Watch steals it. So naturally,
Weren't
I
you the one that was
you
talking about
and,
brothers?
I ran a crew in Alaska for a spell.
Okay. Count us in. We'll set up one of my dad's old construction trailers and...
I feel like that's the reason why I don't have that much friends. Because when they come for help, or it's something that I can do, or no. Like, if I can help you, yes, but if they're like, do you want to be a mine? You want to do whatever she's asking for? I was gonna say no. Like, no, they can go, but not me. Do what you can do, and Archie can do everything as she said, so maybe that's the difference. And I don't have people asking me for those types of favors. They're more like, can you do my shift? I'm like, it's my day off. No.
Before you go forth, I would like to offer my blessing as ministress. Please gather round and join hands.
Oh my god.
Greater riches. Amen.
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 All right, in we go.
Oh my god! Wow! I think they had like a moment on season 4, if I'm not... Season 4, season 5, I don't remember. I think it was on season 5 actually, but... That got me, like, I wasn't expecting that. Stop. Now continue. No, I'm joking, stop.
Kevin!
He's gonna see bingo.
Dad!
Oh. Creepy. I'll start screaming.
Kevin, you can't stay back alone. Look what I found.
Palladium.
Well done, Archie.
It
I'd
was
suggest a
actually
celebratory toast,
Kevin.
and then we have to get right back to it.
These will help.
The fact that she just keeps that there. Take them.
Have you guys ever heard of the Mothman?
I was just asking for that, thank you.
From the truck drivers who worked in the mines when they were open.
Okay, something kinda to do with this, but nothing to do with this at the same time. Just a concept for Riverdale, if one of the creators is watching. Sometimes I like those episodes when they're just like sitting together and telling histories. Like one history for each. Like when those types of horror movies, like Shrek's Careless, or Careless Shrek, I don't remember the name. When each of them tells like a different story but with them on it. That would be something cool to do in Riverdale. The bad part of those stories is that they don't count as much for the plot. But they could do it on a way that they would actually matter in the future. And this was just giving me those vibes, because he's gonna start talking about stories and whatever. So they could do something like that. I would like it.
With big red eyes.
Yeah,
To absorb as
even
much
has the
light
light.
as possible. Not to mention, they were cannibalistic.
Okay,
Okay, that's enough storytelling.
so stopping again just to say, if the stories are true, they're not Mothman, but it may be the guy that is taking the girls, and those stories will connect, which I think would make sense. So I'm understanding as well that the Bills are letting Eric sleepy, so they're probably going to do the same to him, and he's going to have like nightmares or something.
And I don't think you should either. You got a lot of baggage to deal with, Sarge, more than you let on. Losing that many men, that's not easy.
I mean, this can be just trauma, and I would be here for it, but if somebody's doing something to him, obviously it's not the doctor, because that would be too into your face. But somebody could be giving him stuff without him noticing, and that more the pills that she gave to him would mix, and that would obviously collide into something. But I would be here for just trauma as well, you know? Oh,
Hey, there he is.
Daddy Andrews.
Hey, listen, Archie. Me and the guys were talking, and
You should stop.
we think maybe you should take the day off.
Yeah.
Rest up, just take your mind off things.
I wish some people would say that to me on my job. I'm liking his shots, how weird they are, but I'm liking them.
Reggie! Look at me! Take Kevin and
Okay.
Bangs and get them out of here, okay? Take Kevin and Bangs and get them out of here.
Okay, what if it's something in the mind? I was just thinking about this. Because it gets crazier on the mind, so what if it's something there like any type of pheromones or something? Maybe it's the palladium has something there. Would that explain why Cheryl is crazy? I mean, she was not on the mines, but it's underground her maple syrup. So would that do something? Could that explain the craziness of her family? I would be so happy for that. It would be like a cheap explanation, but I would be here for it. Rather cheap than none. Unless he is the one dreaming, but I think something is happening to them, really.
Uncle Frank, you okay?
The question here is why the fact...
It's gas.
Okay.
We gotta get everyone topside ASAP.
Okay, it's gas. I was right. But why did it affect Archie first?
We can hook up a pump to make sure there's fresh air, but...
Yes, do that. And in the meantime, I'll order a flock of canaries. But I want you back in there digging ASAP.
What are you doing?
Can somebody tell me what ASAP means? Because I've seen that a lot of times, but in my head it means like in seconds, like in a minute, but what does it stand for? Please somebody tell me that.
A lot of men died under my command. And at first, I started seeing one of them, Private Bingo, but now...
You're seeing all of them. By the way, funny story. I got these on my house and I have no idea from where. But they're good. Like, they could be drugs, but I try one in my mouth, I look at them and they're good. So yeah.
I don't think it's safe for you to be around anyone right now.
Yeah. Oh, something else that I was going to say is that I thought I think this episode is going to be story by story. Like first Archie, then Betty or Jughead, and vice versa, and Veronica. What's going to happen to Veronica, I don't know. But I think this is going to happen because we had like 13 minutes of episode and now is the intro here. So yeah, I think Archie's story is going to be done. And now we're going to move on to other character. Which sometimes I like, but I prefer when it happens on the same time. Like on season 2, there was that episode where Archie and Jug, they went to Greendale, I think, to deliver some drugs. At the same time, Veronica was with Kevin. I think Betty was, yeah. Veronica and Betty, they were with Kevin because they thought that the sheriff was Black Hood, and then they found out that he was with the mayor. And then we had like Cheryl and Josie having that obsession story that Cheryl had with her. I like when things happen on the same time because it's a glimpse of the connections there, but we don't understand it at first, and then like, oh, that's why this happened. So it would be cool to be here, but I don't think that's gonna happen because I don't know why, but I didn't see anything connecting or any possible connection here. I just think we're gonna see the characters doing different things.
Even more haunted than before.
Okay,
Thank
so
you.
she was telling a story. That's kind of what I said. I didn't predict this.
Inspired by my poor dear cousin.
Okay, now it's Betty. Yes, now we're moving on to Betty. Okay. It's kind of what I said.
Look, but if at any point you need backup,
I would do that as well.
I'm here. I don't want any other girls dying. And that includes you.
I mean, I don't want any girls dying, but I don't want men dying as well, so...
What's your name?
I'm Sarah.
It states anymore.
Oh. You're in Riverdale. I saw this on the promo.
Welcome.
And
I mean,
killers of
Riverdale is on the
women
United States, but...
Do not.
A bitter boyfriend.
I wanna dive into that story as well. Please do it.
I thought I recognized her for a second, but no, I was mistaken.
Allison McCall?
Allison McCall. Was that like a intentional Teen Wolf reference? Allison Argent plus Scott McCall? I don't know if he was, but as a Teen Wolf fan, since it was the first series, like, for teens that I saw, I'm gonna count that as a reference. Plus, I was thinking about disappearing stories and how good they can be if they're done right, which I don't think Riverdale is doing that much, but at the same time it is. I don't know. I think it could be better, but it could be worse. And how, like, it all connects. It's giving me so much Sims 2 vibes with Bella God. If you don't know, basically, on the Sims 2, when you start a game on the God family, Bella God, that is the wife and the mother of the kids. She's not the wife of the kids, but there's a family. She's not there, and she's gone. She disappeared, and in their memories, she was abducted by aliens. And the last time that she was seen, she was on another guy's house, watching the stars on the telescope, and that's how you get abducted by aliens on The Sims 2. And I was just reminding me of this storyline of all the Mockman and people disappearing. That was just reminding me of that. So yeah, not diving too much into the Sims story, just to say that it actually, it has kind of the same thing, you know, going on, which I think is cool. But it can also could be done more serious, if you know what I mean.
How do you know my name?
There's been stories
Stay
up
cool.
and down the highway about some crazy rogue FBI agent out looking for her sister.
Oh, okay. I'm happy that there's stories.
Be like every other woman, casting me aside after getting what you want.
Oh, so he was hurt by a woman. That's why he killed them. Oh.
Well,
That's cute.
I have to tell you something. What is it, honey?
I'm pregnant.
Oh my god. One thing
Do the kids know that their mom is
serial killers
dead?
do. I'll do it. Okay, good.
I mean, Alice worked with the FBI before, so she can do it.
Your daughter squealed like a pig when I slit her throat.
You monster!
Go, Alice. Let her go. Let her.
Okay, appealing to his humanity didn't work.
Cut his fingers. Or something
Maybe
else.
if you believe... So do it, Betty. As your mother, I give you permission. Kill that monster.
And she's like, yes, you give me permission for that, but not the laws of the world.
Here's what's gonna happen next. I'm not gonna kill you. Because I want you to suffer.
Thank you, Betty.
So, I'm gonna start carving pieces off of you. Do you remember her?
No.
Not in the least.
It wasn't him.
First, I'll use the chains on your feet.
Oh, she was... Oh my god. No.
Cauterize.
Poor Betty. Baby. He's not... Somebody killed... Oh,
Did you do it? Nope.
somebody did.
But he did it himself.
Oh, he killed
Bit
himself.
off his own tongue.
Oh, and...
Swallowed it.
Yeah, and... Yeah.
I think maybe there's a family of them hunting together.
Oh, like you said, hunting with my family. And that could, if that was a family, like a family thing, that could lead us to the Mockman, because that happened like 50 years ago, or something like that. So yeah, I would be here for a family killer situation. But it wouldn't be such a mystery because we haven't seen them, unless Minerva is one of them, or basically all the new characters.
Portrait of a young writer. Caught betwixt fact and fiction. Memory and madness. Truth.
I'm really intrigued to see what Veronica's storyline is going to be, because I don't think she has like such an interesting story as the others.
Pendleton Jones, the third. Just kind of weird being in here at night.
By the way, I saw some pictures of the season 6, and I love his hair on season 6. It's short. It's different from this hairstyle, because he always has his hair really big. So I'm here for that hairstyle, just to say that. I think it looks good on his.
Not as a teacher, but as an alcoholic.
We're happy to listen to whatever you want to say.
Guess I'll start.
Then he starts.
When I left Rip.
Then he, if he start on the moment like, okay, this story is about a town. And then he starts telling all of the story of Riverdale. And all of this narration that he has done before is him telling to the group, and then he stops and everybody's like, yeah, I understand the alcohol situation.
Actually kind of boring. So,
obviously,
I focused on my craft. Origins of storytelling stuff like Greek myths, Dostoevsky, The Sopranos.
I mean, I understand him getting bored, because I feel kind of the same. And I was just thinking about it some time ago before I started recording, because I bought, like, it's not a journal, but he has some pages to write, and I'm kind of doing a diary thing. But I can never do a diary of my actual life, because normally when I write it's to escape reality. So I'm kind of doing a diary, but mixing stuff, like more of, I wish my life would have been like, let's say, like if I was in Hawaii instead of being in the UK, because I love Hawaii and I love beachy vibes, beachy like beach, not I'm a bitch. I love beachy vibes. I love water. I only surfed once, but I really liked it. So I'm doing a diary, like if I was in university, like everything happens, but it's on Hawaii, and there's a little bit of mystical things, and I'm not going to talk too much about it, but just a little bit of fan fiction plus diary, which I think is really cool, and it really helps me. Like I didn't write that much, because I'm gonna write every day just when some things happen, and then like I have some friends that are in Portugal and they're coming back. Once they come back, I write it on the diary, and I can start creating like an adventure plus mixed with reality, and that could give a good story. I don't know. I'm just like writing for myself, which normally I don't do, because everything that I write I show to friends or my sister or whatever. This time I'm just writing for me. It's a way for me to express what I'm feeling at the moment, but changing it so it's not the same thing. So yeah, if you guys like to write, try to do that. Do a diary but different. Be a diary but you're a vampire, werewolf, you're a rock star, you're famous. I don't know, you can do anything. Like, write your fantasy on your reality. It's a good way to escape it.
Yeah, they are, but later.
He doesn't
That
have
night,
friends.
I decided that I was going to move to New York City and become a proper writer.
But I'm glad they just didn't stop talking. I like that. It's realistic.
I wrote 200 pages that night.
I would like to do
From
that.
Crazy raw
Not mushrooms,
first
but write
draft game, The
200
Outcast.
pages in one night. Oh. She's sleeping with a guy. I was trying to see who is the guy.
You're just looking for weak spots. And when you find
Okay.
them,
We all heard the voicemail before, so what if this was actually true, and in the end Betty was the villain of Riverdale, like everything? That'd be so cool. But I would be super mad, because I like Betty. And obviously what he's saying is not true, because we've seen her, we know how she thinks.
you can see that.
And the jug needs to calm down. And sleep, what she's gonna do probably.
I vanished. I was swallowed up by the dark.
And he doesn't remember a thing. That's what happened, right?
I was waking up in a hospital room.
So this is the things he doesn't remember. Probably. Just saying. I'm curious. I am. But I don't see what could actually happen to him so he would get so traumatized that he wouldn't forget. But I'm kind of here for this storyline because I think that happens and we don't even notice. Like, I get super I start shaking when people talk loud at me, like aggressively, and that made me start thinking, what if something happened when I was a kid, because I don't remember anything. Like, I just remember that kind of always shaking me up. But what if something happened to me that kind of got me into a trauma, as that, so I get all shaky when everybody like starts speaking louder. That makes me nervous. But yeah, I'm here for it.
You went on a bender, Jones. An epic one.
Why didn't you saw Veronica on New York? She was there too, I think.
Then I figured I needed to go back to New York City.
But you're still in
Try and
Riverdale.
Find out what happened
so
the night of my book
what?
release. A man that lived underneath the streets of New York City.
Like the guy from
I'm sorry.
Shrek that plays the flute and controls
Yeah,
rats.
no, let me explain.
And the girl from Suicide Squad, which, if you guys saw it, she's Portuguese as well. I saw the movie and I was really happy for the representation. So yeah, go Portuguese. But yeah, about a Red King. We already had the Mockman, but I think I prefer Red King than Alien, so.
Yeah, it's rare, but I guess it happens.
And he probably just,
There must have
when
been some impulse
he saw
in me
some
to just
rats,
vanish.
and he thought it was
Walk away from the
a
shadows
guy
of my
there
life.
that was controlling
'Cause I
them.
thought to myself,
Yeah, he's imagining that, but I like that he has the Jughead crown from the comics.
but that night, she came to visit me.
Jughead.
Betty.
Jughead, wake up.
I was also infected, which I didn't know at the time.
Yeah.
So the cops found me, and they picked me up, and they took me to St. Vincent's Hospital.
That explains why he was.
It was definitely familiar.
Oh, there's the rat. Okay.
I'd absolutely been there. And when I came to, I couldn't scream for help because I was covered in rats.
Oh, ew. And that's...
I was afraid that if I opened my mouth...
Okay, that was what I kind of said. I said he probably saw a rat. King rats, or... Yeah, that's what happened. Yay, smart. I say Hugh, but I see a lot of rats in the UK when I'm going home from work, but I'm not scared of rats. I know that they have diseases and all. I never touched one, but like I see them on the street and I'm not scared, as some people are.
That's why I'm here.
And we're glad you are.
Because you definitely need
Thank
help.
you for your share. All right. So who's next?
I hope you know I didn't just bring you here for the paintings, Minerva.
So no
Although,
Veronica story?
There is one more piece
No.
I'd love. That still leaves us with tonight, doesn't it?
Yes.
Yes, it does. So no Veronica on this episode, which is interesting because on the last episode there was no Jughead. So no Veronica on this one. That means on the next one there won't be a baddie since I saw Archie on it. Because it's the first time we don't actually see the main actors on one episode, like the core four. I think the other characters, they have been missing sometimes, but interesting. Like, days off for the actors are good. I feel like if I was a main actor, I wouldn't like to have a episode that I was missing, just because I like numbers and perfection. So if I left the show, but if I left the show, fine. But if I didn't, like, before leaving the show, I would like to be in all the episodes. If I was a main character, if I wasn't, like, fine. And after I leave the show, unless they kill me off, I would still like to appear, like, at least on the first and the last episode of the next seasons, if it was interesting for my character to appear, and maybe on the middle of this when it goes the mid-season finale, even if it's just for a phone call, because I feel like people would miss the character if it was a main character that was leaving. That normally happens. So I would like that. So yeah, guys, this was the episode. Another episode that I really enjoyed. I did like Jughead's storyline, which normally that doesn't happen. But that's just because I don't like the character. But I did enjoy it, you know. I thought it was cool. A little bit confusing, but I'm here for it. So, let's go story by story. First story, Archie. I really liked KJ Apa acting on this one. Not saying that he's a bad actor, but just I like to see them like doing different things, you know, because obviously they're doing these characters for 5-6 years, I'm not sure. So they already have like the characters inside of them, so everything looks natural. And also it's nice when they have changes, because you definitely see something different. That's what I liked on this like Archie thing. Like, I don't like war stories. I didn't think he should have gone to war, but I do like to see it on terms of like his acting, because it's really different from what I've seen from KJ Apa. And I besides Riverdale, I think I only saw that movie where the dog keeps dying, and I saw another one, I'm not sure. It's one that he has like different groups of people living a summer. He has Maya Mitchell, but I don't know if he was on that one. But whatever. Just say that I like his acting a lot, and I'm happy that nobody was doing any drug things to him. It was just a gas, as I said, that like there was something inside of the case, which would be cool. Like, imagine if Hiram goes there like crazy, and then he gets hit by the gas, and somebody closes him there, and then just gets crazy, and that's the end of Hiram Lodge. Yay! But yeah, I like the storyline. I like to see the boys together. That's cool. I always like to see like the boys together and the girls together. It's different, because normally they're all mixed up, which is normal, but sometimes it's cool, especially on musical moments. Which on this episode there were none. The first episode since Riverdale came back. No, the Hiram Lodge didn't have one. Okay. So yeah. Next story, it was Betty's story. Okay. So I'm pretty sure that wasn't the guy. I mean, I'm kinda into it if he's a family of psychopaths. But for the other side, I'm like, Riverdale used to be a mystery show. I think it still is, because all the seasons we have like the mystery. But like on season 4, the Jughead situation, even though there was a mystery, like what happened to him, we pretty much know that the villains of that storyline, they were like the kids from I don't remember the name of the school. It was Stone. I don't remember. Stone Prep? No, I don't. They were the preppies. That's what I remember. But I don't remember the school, which, by the way, they were supposed to be important for season 5, the school, because they were Riverdale's rivals, but Stone Prep, that's the school, right? Yeah, they just disappeared on the season, but what I was saying is that was already too obvious. Like, we knew that they were not good people. Obviously, we had the tapes guy, that was Jughead's sister, which was something. You guys can see my reaction on that, actually. And I felt bad because I made a joke about that, some, like, reactions before that. I was saying, like, oh, maybe it's Jellybean, as a theory said, because she was always playing Minecraft, and that actually happened, so, yeah. So, if it's actually a family, I hope that we have seen these characters before. And that we are seeing them and not thinking about it. Like, there will be like a hell of situations. Like, maybe the guy that started talking about the Mothman is the father. Then Minerva, maybe, just because what's the point? What's her point on the story, basically? The guy that we saw in this episode. I'm not gonna say Herrick because it was on the war with Archie, so they wouldn't make sense, but we would have seen the characters before, so it would be a mystery, which I don't think this series, even though they have the mystery of the Mothman and where is Polly, they're not having like this guy that is doing something that is a mystery. You know, in some points it's kind of like what happened to Jason, which is actually accurate, because on season 1 we were trying to figure out who killed him. But now we are trying to see who killed Polly, and I think we could have just have done the season with that question. That would give us like season 1 vibes as they want to, because of the main parallels that they gave us this season, like Archie and Betty having a thing that they never had on season 1, but she liked him, and then he chooses Veronica and all that, like it happened before. The key party situation that resembles Cheryl's bottle challenge, yeah. So I think could have had a season just with that. And I think I'm getting lost on my thoughts because I don't know what I was talking about. Oh, just to say that it doesn't look like a mystery. But if it's the family, I just wish that we are seeing the characters and not thinking like they are these guys. Don't make like a mystery that's not a mystery. That's what I'm saying. But at least they killed the one guy, and if they're actually a family now, the family can go after them because they killed him. Like, he killed himself, but they were the ones that caught him. Third story. Jughead's story. As I said before, I kind of liked it. It was cool. Like, his trauma, I just don't get it. How did he remember the trauma like so fast? He just went there and everything got back. Which I think that is kind of hard. Like, I've seen shows doing like getting memories back, like with Hypnotis, which I think that would be so weird for Riverdale, but it was just that I remembered. So, okay, I guess. Like, if he had written what was happening to him on the book, and that flashed him out, like, I would get it, but I just don't understand how did he remember everything like so fast. That's the situation. Besides that, I thought it was really cool. Like, clap clap happy. And yeah, I like to see Jughead's storyline for some time, you know. I think on season 4 he had a cool storyline, but like, I'm not here for him being the king of the serpents because he was a teen back then, and that's one of the things that I think I've already planned to change on my Riverdale rewrite, which is still gonna happen, just some time out, because I need to stop. When I was doing it, I was rewatching season 2, but I didn't have like the patience to do it. But yeah, I have like the major plans on it, so one day I think I will eventually do it, maybe when season 5 is over, so then I can have like the full seasons. Until now, like, because I didn't know what I could write for season 5, since I didn't know how it was gonna end. Maybe after that, if I have time, I can start working on the rewrites again, but yeah, whatever. So, with that said, I think I'm gonna give this episode an 8 out of half. Because I think it was good. I'm liking the storylines, I'm liking the traumas that they have, I'm liking to investigate on them. And I hope that Jughead now sees how he's still alone, so he starts like reconnecting with people, like besides Tabitha, like he gets back to being like Archie's BFF, friend, whatever you wanna call him, even if they were that before. Like, be back with Betty as friends, or whatever they want to be, like whatever the writers want them to be, which I don't think like in reality they would go back as a couple because of everything that happened. And you normally don't end up with your crushes from when you're teens, unless, like, I think Betty and Archie, they are kind of realistic because there was always like a feeling there that was never like opened. And I think Betty and Jughead already have, they worked together for 3 years basically, and they have a lot of story. And when you move on from a relationship, normally, or you only think about the good moments or the bad ones, and I think at this point they are all just thinking about the bad moments. So yeah, I've seen her and Archie with more possibilities of working out, and they have like this whole story, and yeah, I like Barchie. But I want Jughead to go back to being friends. Like, I want them to be friends again, you know. They're adults, so I would like to see their relationship as a group different. Like, can you go to my event? Like, did somebody went to Veronica's wedding? Why wasn't Veronica on Jughead's opening? Like, she was on New York too, so opening, like, the book thing. Whatever. 8.5 out of 10. I'm liking the season so far, as I said before. I think the episodes are being really good. I'm not being mad with the show by the most part. And yeah, guys, with that said, be sure to tell me what did you guys liked on this episode and something that you guys didn't like as well. I'm here to hear you, whatever the situation is. Just if you please have a good justification for that. Give it a big thumbs up if you like this reaction. That really helps. You have no idea how, but it does help a lot. Like, shows the video to more people, which is really good for the channel and to increase it, to make it bigger. Subscribe, that also helps a lot for me. Let's hit, I don't know how many subscribers I have, but let's hit 600 subscribers. That's what my next goal is. Let's do it as fast as we can. Let's go. If you do that, you may win something, probably anything, but I'm just telling you, one day you will win, but for that I need to have more subscribers. So be sure to do it. One day I may give you a giveaway from like a shirt saying whatever. That's kind of my phrase. Whatever, or okay, or I don't know. That's my lines. So yeah, I hope you guys have an amazing day, week, evening, night, whatever, whenever you are. I hope this video comes soon because I've been doing like a full time. Now I've worked this week. I did like 7 days full of working, yeah. So that's why the other video took so much time to come. Besides, I didn't have internet when I was starting to edit it. So yeah, hopefully this comes faster. And yeah, guys, this is HiWill, and I will see you next time. Be cool, guys. Bye. Woo. Now appreciate me and my dog sleeping. If you don't know who my dog is, this is the dog that it's on my bed. It's not a real dog, but I made it on The Sims just because I was bored. And I thought it would be something cool to do instead of seeing just a whole of a black screen of anything. You could see me sleeping, and that's what I want to be doing. Actually not, because today I overslept for like 1 hour. Like, I woke up and then I was waiting for I don't know what, but I just started sleeping again and I woke up. It was like 12:40 and I was like, oh my god, I slept for like an hour more. So yeah, guys, that was it. That was the random thought of the day. By the way, nothing else actually. I'm just going to go to the town to grab a comic because I like comics. Yeah, because I'm weird. I don't fit in. I will never fit in. Have you seen me without this stupid wig? I don't wear a wig, but I just want to do the reference. Bye, guys.